Hello. Can we do 1, 2, 3 running? Running?
Yeah, no
One,
stop,
two-
no jam.
What about run? 1, 2?
Not run, no stepping for you.
What about 1, 2, 3? Hold it.
Running,
Who's riding in back?
no stop, no jam, no sit down.
Who's in back?
Hang on here for me.
Okay. We want good driver. Otherwise, lots of dragging. Always.
Are you ready?
Every day. Here we go. Get ready. That's kind of wild.
Okay, I had to slow it down just a little bit. If you take a look at baby's feet right there, she pulls her legs up, and look who has to do all the work from here. We just barely got off the ground. Look, the runner has to give us a little boost, and there we go. But yeah, it looked like we had a low start, and we did.
That's kind of wild. That's a 1, 2, 3 real fast. 1, 2, 3. So far, safety.
Running.
We did 1, 2, 3.
You can try there.
Yep.
You can what, honey?
Oh. We got 1, 2, 3 out of it.
Yep.
As advertised. Yep. Always, every day. Every day. Safety. Always safety.
I was ready to drag it.
Every day. Yep. Safety first. Oh yeah. tight on the eggs.
Your egg?
A little bit.
Right there? Oh,
Yeah, up on the hill. Yeah, I see it right there. Very beautiful. And then jet ski comes out, we land on the jet ski and then go jet ski.
Coming in hot.
Oh yeah.
There's the egg.
We need to make sure landing gear is down. Landing gear needs to be down.
Running.
Landing gear right here.
Ready?
Always. After, okay. We need to pick our crash site. The last moments of flight, right here. Oh well. Coming in hot. Woohoo! Woohoo! Woo! Coming in hot.
As you can see here, things aren't going exactly as planned. But you know what they say, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. So let's see how we do here. Now we'll switch to onboard on the parasail in real time from our perspective.
Running! We wrecked it. We crashed. Little wreck. Not too bad. Right, main gear was collapsed. Oh man. Woohoo! All right. Thank you guys. YouTube right here. Yep. All right. Thank you.
Well, I must say that was pretty wild. Baby and I had such a good time. We laughed the entire time. That was the craziest thing we did. And you can see here, we crashed. They tried their best to keep us from going down, but it happened anyways. All in good fun. We'd do it again in a heartbeat.
¿Cómo está? YouTube. Bye. That was fun. Did you get it? Yep. So you're pretty comfortable there, baby. Alright, jet ski next.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. Baby and I just really wanted to share that with you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. That was some of the fun we had while we were in Phuket, Thailand. And we were out on Kata Beach. So if you ever want to go there parasailing, that's a great place to go. Okay, maybe that was a little over the top. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get our next video started. Welcome back to another exciting and thrill-filled adventure with DIY Nautical Dream.
Hi guys, welcome back. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe down below. And please watch our video from the very beginning up until the end. Perfect!
In case you missed it in last week's video, it was finally time to add some of that high-density foam insulation to the sidewalls and the overhead cavity area. This is a messy operation. We have to spray that 3M adhesive spray and then stick the high-density foam up onto the sidewalls where the 3M adhesive spray has been sprayed pretty much everywhere. Another one of the great things we got done in last week's episode, we finally got the forward piece of overhead plywood installed. This is the new large piece of plywood we cut out, and it's replacing that rotted stuff we took out previously. So this is a really big step. It's pretty exciting to see this going in. We're really happy to have gotten this far with it. Now this has created a pretty large cavity. We're going to have to eventually fill that up with some foam insulation. And after all that, we were able to make time to install one more piece of the large section of overhead plywood. This is a really big accomplishment. We're making really good progress now. We're just trying to get this area closed up as quickly as possible, but at the same time, we're keeping an eye out for quality and trying to do the job right. Also, we have to fiberglass tab it into place. We had to use a lot of thickened epoxy, a lot of epoxy resin, and it was a mess. But nothing says mess better than spraying in that spray foam insulation. That stuff goes everywhere. It's very sticky. If it gets on something, it's not coming off very easily. But we had to fill that cavity. We got that done. And that pretty much wraps up last week's episode. If you missed it, you might want to go back and see it. A lot of interesting steps took place. We're making really good progress. We're not quite in the home stretch yet on the overhead project, but we're getting close. So if you missed last week's video, go back, take a look, and see what we completed.
Wow! Hi guys!
Welcome back.
I'm Priscilla.
And I'm Rich. Together, we make DIY Nautical Dream.
Alright, so what we got going on, honey?
Oh, we probably want to tell them a little bit about one of the other things we did in Thailand was we did the parasailing and it's a beach start, so you have to run. Yeah, you have to run and start off at the beach. We did that also last year and we had such a good time. We wanted to do it again this year. And oh my gosh, it did not disappoint us. We had so much fun doing that. That was just a crazy time.
Yep.
So we'll show you some clips of that. And of course, on the landing part, we did not land as intended. We had a little bit of a crash.
Yeah, which is what we like.
Yeah, we kind of liked it.
They worry us being crushed, but we like to be crushed.
We crashed it a little bit. It wasn't bad. We didn't get hurt or nothing. So it was just having too much fun.
Yep. Anyways.
So let's get back to the project.
Yep. It's time to trim away the blob of foam insulation.
Yeah. The little piece that was hanging from last time, we're finally going to trim that away in this episode. We'll get that out of there.
Yep. And we will be using a lot of spray foam insulation also.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to use a lot more than that. So, yeah. It's a big area to fill. We're going to have to use quite a bit of that. And then we're going to also install that aft section of plywood. With any luck, it'll fit in one piece. If not, we might have to modify it. So it's just a big puzzle, and sometimes it doesn't go together the way we want to. But If we can get it in one shot, that'd be great. If not, we'll have to cut it and make it into more than one piece.
We'll make it work.
See how it goes.
So stay tuned, guys. We're gonna show you or update this week's video.
Stay tuned. It's getting exciting. We're almost there. If we can get this one last piece in,
then we're done.
Yeah, this section. Then we're gonna go sailing around the world. No,
exactly.
But we'll see how it goes. If we get this section in, that'll be great. If not, then we have a little bit left over.
Yep.
All right.
Stay tuned.
All right, let's get this turned on. Welcome back to another episode of This Old Boat. All right, so she's back awake. Okay, so we have a little bit overhang from last time we were here. It still continued to ooze out, and so we'll cut that away. We want to have a fresh, clean edge here because we're going to butt up our next piece of plywood up to there, and this will be definitely in the way. And then we'll fill in some of the open cavities back up in there as well, because anywhere there's an air pocket like that, moisture can and will condense, so we want to make sure we close all those up. And then one of the other things we want to do is we're going to take the section that goes here, and we're going to cut that in half, and we'll probably install this piece back here, and then we'll put this piece in here last, because we're still going to need to fill all this area up with foam as well. All right, so we're just going to take the knife . Let's see how this goes. Should just pull right off. There we go. Oh, so we cut through. I wonder what was holding it all together. All right, well, anyways. Okay, so we're gonna want to clean that edge up a little bit, just because we're going to butt our next piece of wood up against there with thick and epoxy, so let's clean that up. I'll get this foam blade pretty close so that you can cut, and it looks like it's cut, but it still continues hanging. It's pretty foam stuff. Alright, that's what we want. We want that edge clear. We'll get ready to cut our section of plywood that goes up there, so it's ready to put in 2 sections. Alright, now what we need to figure out is our overlap. How much we need to trim off. Okay. All the way, so basically all the way across there. Alright. So we're going to draw a line all the way across here, cut that off, and then we'll come back and we'll measure again and decide where we're going to cut it in half at. So, okay, so we have this next piece of plywood in here, the one with all the strings of fiberglass hanging down. We're just going to have to let those cure like that, because if we pull on them, it's just going to unravel the weave on the fiberglass cloth. So let it ride for right now, and then we had to fill in this back area here with some thickened epoxy and a couple of pieces of fiberglass cloth on the inside, because this was actually broken. If you look closely, you can see where it's separated, and so we're just kind of rebonding that back together at the same time, as well as we're fiberglassing all this together. We're letting that cure. Our next plan will be to try to bond a piece back in here, and then just leave a little gap for the final piece in the middle. So, and at the same time, we need to get in here and finish our foam insulation installation. So, but we're going to need to get on that next. While this piece is curing, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to shoot some expanding foam insulation in there. All right, and we're going to wait and see how much that expands, and then we'll add more as necessary. But for right now, we're just going to let it have a little bit of time to do its job. because that stuff will continue to expand for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come out and start hanging over the edge here in a little bit, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so now you can see that expanding foam expanded pretty far, and that was just one can that we used to fill the remainder of that area up. We still have a little bit more to add, but we don't want to add that yet right now. And then we still have this cavity back here to fill up. We need to figure out how we're going to fill this area here. We have one small section to put in like that, but we need to make sure it's a drop-in piece. It's going to have a little bit of slop to it, a little bit of play, but we got to make sure we can drop it in there fairly easily, and then epoxy it in place, and then fiberglass tab it in. Probably end up filling this cavity once we start working back here on the opposite side. So last night we worked on getting that piece installed, this piece here installed, and adding that expanding foam insulation. So now everything's nice and solid. I mean, that's really good compared to what we had in there before, that soft spongy material. So we'll need to, once we're done with all this fiberglass mess, we will need to grind down these hanging spots and get rid of all these little fibers that are hanging down. But all in all, this is turning out really good, and we have a really solid piece of structure in there now compared to what was in there before. And if you remember right, we definitely strengthened up the bridge that was across here. We added a lot of structure to that, so whether it needed it or not, it has it now. Next thing we'll focus on is fitting that piece in there so it drops in. Once we have that, then we can glass it into place and move on to the backside. Some of the other things we want to do is we'll want to sand this just to get a rough surface to it. Want to get rid of that stuff. We want to smooth that out a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we just want it to be decent. And then we're going to paint over this, and we'll move on with putting it back together and closing it up. We still have the hatch. We need to put this hatch piece of plywood back in here and put the hatch back in. Of course, we need to finish rebuilding the hatch. We can start wrapping this area up. And of course, we got other projects waiting, so it's not like we're going to run out of work. Anyways, that's where we're at with that.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our videos. We really appreciate it.
Alright, so we're back, guys.
Yep, we're back, and we are almost there.
Selling. We are almost done with the plywood panels in the main salon.
Yep, the main salon overhead project is just about wrapped up. We're getting there.
And it's been a challenge, to say the most.
To say the least, it's been a challenge, yes. I'll agree with that.
Always. And always messy, like
yeah,
always.
anytime you're working with adhesives, fiberglass, epoxy, yeah, it's going to be a mess, so it's going to be a good time.
The final section has had to be cut into 3 sections.
Yeah, we didn't have any luck getting it to fit in one piece. It would have been a pretty tight fit, but we were definitely trying to make that work. So we had to cut it up into 3 sections, and we'll just put it together like a puzzle. Each piece is going to have its place, and we'll get it in there a little bit at a time. So we got those last 2 sections in, and so we just have one more piece left to put in there, and we just really ran out of time to do it. We don't want to rush getting that last section in because we're going to have to do a little bit of tricky foam spraying and fiberglassing and epoxy all at the same time, and we just don't want to rush that. So.
Right, we don't want to be 1, 2, 3 running.
No, but all in all, I think it's turning out really good, and we are getting there. We are getting the difficult section in and almost completed. So next time, that is all done.
Okay, so stay tuned, guys. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe down below.
Yep, right down here. Yep.
And please watch our video from the very beginning up until the end.
Oh yeah. And if you're not a channel member and you want to join and help support the channel financially, you can be a channel member or you can be a patron. And either way, we would greatly appreciate it. And if not, then you can always support us by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. We appreciate it. We're happy to have you on board and along for the ride. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for being a long-time subscriber. Thank you for our new subscribers and everybody in between. We appreciate each and every one of you.
All right, so stay tuned, guys. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that's it. See you. Bye. All right, action. Take 20.
Dang, if I only hit record. Man.
I think you did.
Okay.
So
Dang.
did you record it? Really?
Oh my gosh.
So stay tuned, guys. What? Oh no! Stay
See, now she's all nervous. All right, we really
and
appreciate it.
please go ahead and edit.
No. All right, looks like it's turning out pretty good, baby. What do you think?
No, what do you think? Did we record it?
Hang on, not yet.